Sadete savadasinam Munina samadakadam Bhavita bhuligatam Samvedandi abhinyaya Nivanaya javadiyam Etena sija vijenam Sudhite hodu sabadam Eka samay samayinato Mogalana jagasabam Kilane dogite deswam Bojjhanga satta desayi Tejatam vinandetvam Roga mochesu singane Edena sija vijenam Sudhite hodu sabadam Ekada dhammarajabi Kilinyena pipilitam Chona terena tanyevam Panabhidvana sadaram Samodidvana avadam Dhamma vodhasitana sam Edena sija vijenam Sudhite hodu sabadam Pina teja avadam Dinana bimesinam Mega hata kilesawam Padanuvadi dhammadam Edena sija vijenam Sudhite hodu sabadam. So let us read the translation together slowly. Having known by way of experience the 7 kinds of Dhamma called factors of enlightenment, which destroy all suffering of beings who wander through this samsara, wrongs or rebirths, and which defeat the army of Mara, the evil one, these excellent persons were liberated from the 3 kinds of existence. They have reached Nirvana, where there is no rebirth, aging, disease, death, and dangers. All good people, let us recite this Bojjhanga Sutta, which is endowed with the aforementioned attributes, which gives not a few benefits, and which is like a medicine, a mantra. These 7 factors of enlightenment, namely mindfulness, investigations of Dharma, effort or energy, cess, tranquility, concentration and equanimity, which are well expounded by the all-seeing sage, promote, when practiced repeatedly, penetration of the truth, cessation of suffering, knowledge of the path. By this utterance of truth, may there always be happiness for you. Once, when the Lord saw Moggallana and Kassapa being unwell and suffering, he preached the 7 factors of enlightenment. They, having rejoiced at the discourse, immediately were free from the disease. By this utterance of truth, may there always be happiness to you. Once when the king of Dharma was oppressed by disease, he had whenever Chona recite the discourse restlessly, and having rejoiced at the discourse, was immediately cured of the disease. By this utterance of truth, may there always be happiness to you. The deeds of the disease sages that were eradicated reach the stage of never occurring again, like the mental defilements eradicated by the path. By this utterance of truth, may there always be happiness to you. So you are very familiar with these Bojjhangha factors of enlightenment because yogi are practicing and developing these factors of enlightenment. You always developing mindfulness, investigation of Dharma, effort, sense, tranquility, concentration, and wisdom. So not only the disease, but also you can overcome all suffering, aging, sickness, death, and danger. That means you will realize Nibbana by practicing Vipassana meditation or by developing 7 factors of enlightenment. So Sati Sambhojjhanga first factors, and today is second is Dhamma Vijaya, investigations of the Dhamma. The Pali phrase is translated investigations of the Dhamma. Dhamma can have different meanings in different contexts. Here Dhamma means just Nama and Rupa, mind and matter, or mentality and materiality, which are the objects of Vipassana meditation. Investigations of the Dhamma here does not mean that you deliberately investigate the Dhamma, or I'm finding Nama, or I'm finding the Rupa. No, you just try to be mindful of every phenomena, or you are trying to observe mind and metta, and you can investigate these Dhamma. You know, when you are sitting, standing, walking, etc., you know that it is Nama, it is Rupa. Nama and Rupa only just a name. What you see is now you are sitting, and there's stiffness, tension in the upper part of the body, and some knowing is there. So that is Nama and Rupa. The moment you observe they are rising, immediately they disappear, you can investigate. Yogi clearly see that they are fading away. It is sure, it is impermanent and so on. That is Dhamma Vijaya, investigations of the Nama and Rupa. When noting and investigating the Dhamma, the knowing of the Dhamma is present in you at every moment, because you are always mindful. When you take note of the rising and falling, the consciousness, you clearly capture consciousness that knows the rising is nama. You see or you discern that objects clearly. Knowing mind is different from the stiffness and tension. So there is the arising of rising, and there is the disappearing of the rising. Rising totally gone, and then arising of the falling, and disappearing of the falling, and so on. So you can see clearly whatever you are noting, that is, you have this Dhamma Vijaya, or you are investigating the Nama Rupa. But here in Bojjhangha, Buddha used Dhamma Vijaya. Investigation of the Dhamma is synonymous with Pinya, knowledge or wisdom. So in the Eightfold Path, it is called Samadhi, right view, right understanding. Buddha used many synonyms. In the seven factors of enlightenment, Buddha used Dhamma Vijaya. In the Eightfold Path, Buddha used Samadhi, or right understanding. So both mean the same, the correct discerning of mind and matter, correct understanding of the Nama and Rupa. So the characteristics of Dhamma Vijaya is penetrating Nama and Rupa according to their individual essence. That means you see Nama and Rupa. Oh, there is Rupa, there is heaviness, this is cold, there is stiffness, there is light, because it does not cognize. There is Nama because it is bent, it is inclined towards the stiffness. Nama Rupa very distant, very different, and they are separated. Now you start to investigate. So when the investigation of the Dhamma penetrates, it penetrates surely and correctly the object, penetrates surely and clearly Nama Rupa. So its penetration is accurate and stable. The functions of Dhamma Vijaya is to illuminate the objective field like a lamp. When there is no light in the room, you're gonna see things. When the light is turned on, everything in the room is illuminated. So you can see Namarupa clearly. In the same way, when you investigate the Dhammas, which is knowledge, which is pinya, you can see objects of meditation, you can see mind and metta clearly. So in the Masatipatthana Sutta, Buddha mentions Santam wa Ijatam Dhammavijaya Sambojjhangam Atime Ijatam Dhammavijaya Sambojjhangodi Bojjhanati. If the factors of enlightenment, if the investigations of Dhamma is present in you, you know, or that is Dhamma Vijaya, that is understanding, that is investigations of Dhamma, that enlightenment factors is in me, you know. Sometimes you're not mindful. So Buddha said, Asantam wa ijatam Dhamma Vijaya Sambojjhangam. Nati me ijatam Dhamma Vijaya Sambojjhangodi Bojjhanati. Now you know there is no investigations of Dhamma in me because the enlightenment factors or the investigations of the Dhamma is not present in you. You know there is no investigations of Dhamma in me. If Dhamma Vijaya is in you, you know clearly, because you see very clearly. If you have no Dhamma Vijaya, you cannot see clearly, you cannot distinguish Nama and Rupa, you cannot investigate totally. So Dhamma Vijaya manifests in you as non-bewilderment. When you are investigating the Dhammas, you are not bewildered. So penetration can be compared with the lamp lighting a room. Yogis are no longer bewildered. When they have pinya, when they have wisdom, and when they are investigating the Dhammas, they can no longer be bewildered because they see clearly what an object is. They know when the object comes into being, and you know when objects goes away. You capture the beginning and the end of this process. So this can also be compared with a guide in the forest. Though people may get lost in the forest, a guide can lead them through the forest without getting lost. So investigations of the Dhamma manifest as non-bewilderment. There are 7 ways that lead to the arising of Dhamma Vijaya. 7 ways that lead to the arising of the investigations of the Nama Rupa. So the first one is Bojjhangha. You try to inquire the true teaching of the Buddha. You try to inquire the 5 aggregates, khandha, and 12 ayatana, the sense bases, and 4 dhatu, 4 elements, or 4 noble truths. These dhamma should be inquired, because we need to know. By inquiring, you get answers. You will know more and more about the objects of meditation, and you can develop this knowledge of the Dhamma. The second one is Vitu Visata Kiriya, purifications of the bases, purifications of the basic. That means internal cleanliness and external cleanliness. Internal cleanliness refers to bodily cleanliness. When you want to develop these enlightenment factors, you have to keep your body clean. When your body is not clean, your mind cannot be clean. When the mind is not clean, the investigations of the Dhamma which is one of the components of the mind, cannot be clean. So you take care of your food, and you have to take care of your bowel to be regular. So internal cleanliness or bodily cleanliness is necessary for the development of knowledge, pinya. External cleanliness means keeping your house clean, keeping your room clean, keeping your clothes clean, and so on. So when the room is not clean, when the room is dirty, when your clothes are dirty, and so on, you need to clean. You should wash them, you should clean them. So when yogis see a clean meditation hall, a neat meditation hall, they tend to have more concentration and wisdom. When a room is messy, the meditator's mind will also be messy. Messiness is not conducive to attaining concentration and wisdom. So internal cleanliness and external cleanliness will lead to the development of the investigations of Dhamma or development of the Pinya wisdom. Number 3 is Indriya Samatha Patikarana, balancing the faculties, balancing the Indriyas. Meditators can also develop pinya by keeping their mental faculties in balance. You're very familiar, mental faculties, indriya, controlling faculties, 5 mental faculty present when you meditate, faith or confidence in the practice and the teaching, energy, mindfulness, concentration, and knowledge, saddha, viriya, sati, samadhi, and pinya. Faith and knowledge should be in balance, and also concentration and energy should be in balance. If you have too much faith and too little understanding, yogi will trust without grounds, and yogi will believe anything without the ground for faith. If he have too much understanding and too little faith, he tend to become crafty, and he will like and it will like the disease caused by medicine, which is incurable. Moreover, faith, if it is a little stronger, it is suitable for yogis who is practicing samatha meditation. Because if faith is little stronger, he will not think that how can there be jhana by contemplating earth, Patavi, by practicing that uh, that observing the earth, you can gain jhana. So it is sure, but that kinds of faith is necessary for the samatha practice. But knowing that what has been taught by the Buddha must succeed, he will reach absorption, jhana, through faith and trust in the practice, in the samatha practice. As regards concentration and understanding, concentration, if a little stronger, is fitting for yogi who is practicing samatha meditation. Because he can reach absorption, appana samadhi. And for the vipassana yogi, understanding, if a little stronger, is fitting for yogis who is practicing vipassana. Because he can reach penetration of the characteristics of the phenomena. But due to the equalizing of these two, there come to be absorption for sure. So it is important to keep energy and concentration in balance. So yogi have to equalize these two faculties. When yogi put forth more energy than needed, you will become agitated and restless. But when you use less energy than needed, you will become sleepy. So meditators have to navigate between these extreme, excess of energy and excess of concentration, excess of faith and excess of knowledge. Mindfulness balance these two pairs of faculties Mindfulness is always needed. It is adjusting power. Buddha said that mindfulness is to be desired everywhere. There cannot be any excess of mindfulness. Mindfulness has to be present all the time. So in the East, for example, they put salt into every dish. Mindfulness is also compared to the Prime Minister who attends to all the king's affairs. So among all faculties, mindfulness is the most needed one. Another one is Dopinya Pokala Pari Vijanata. That is avoiding ignorance people. Yogi can develop the investigations of the Dhammas by avoiding those people who are ignorant. Ignorance of the teaching of the five aggregates, ignorance of the 12 sense bases, ignorance of the elements, and so on. That means that ignorant people not practice very well. So they do not know five aggregates, what they are practicing. They do not know the 12 sense bases. They do not know elements because they not very mindful. So they do not reach the stage of Udiyabhaya Jnana, the knowledge of rise and fall. So these people are ignorant people. Try to avoid these people. Even that person is very, very educated. If we do not understand the nature of the five aggregates, the nature of the 12 sense bases, the nature of the elements, and so on, he is ignorant. Because understanding the five aggregates is important, understanding of the Namarupa or mind and matter is important. Another one is Pinyawanta Pukala Sivana. That means associate with wise people. Associating with people who are well informed with respect to the aggregates and so on. They are well informed in five aggregates due to their good practice. They know the five aggregates, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and 12 they know the 12 sense bases, eye, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, because when they practice, they see very clearly. So that means wise people understand uh, empirically the nature of Namarupa. That means they know they reach the stage of Udiyabhaya Jnana, the knowledge of rise and fall. Even that person is not very educated, they know the five aggregates, they know the 12 sense bases correctly. They are wise people. So if you have the kinds of uh, people, if you associate with these wise people, it is very, uh, very supporting for your practice. Another one is Gambira Jnana Chariya Pichawakana. That means reflecting profoundly. First, you inquire about the teaching of the Buddha, you inquire about the five aggregates and so on, and then you reflect on them profoundly. You call to mind again and again what you have studied and learned. By reflecting profoundly on the aggregates and so on, you will be able to develop the investigations of the Dhamma. And the last one is Tati Motata. That means inclination towards investigation. Your mind should always be bent towards gaining knowledge, whether you are sitting or standing or walking or sitting, whatever you are doing. Your mind should always bend towards gaining knowledge. So you try to be mindful all the time and you keep your mind turned towards the investigations of the Dhamma, towards the knowledge, so that knowledge will become yours. So yogis have yoni samanasikara, that is wise reflection. That means you reflect to you reflect the true nature to have the kinds of pinya, to have that investigations of the Dhamma. So when Venerable Moggallana and Venerable Kassapa were ill, Buddha went to their places and Buddha expounded to Kassapa and Moggallana. Dhamma Vijaya Sambojjhanga Kho Kassapa Maya Sammadekhato Bhavito Bullikato Abhinyaya Sambodaya Nibbanaya Samvittati. O Kassapa, Dhamma Vijaya Sambojjhanga, which has been perfectly discoursed upon by me, when activated within yourself, repeatedly developed, leads to knowing through extraordinary insight knowledge, leads to knowing through penetration, leads to nirvana, the extensions of all mental defilements, extensions of all suffering. So regarding Dhamma Vijaya, Buddha encouraged to develop investigations of the Dhamma to Venerable Moggallana and Venerable Kassapa. Of course, they were arahant, and when Buddha recited this Bojjhanga Sutta, and also they developed. So by the power of recitation and by the power of the developing the Bojjhanga, factors of enlightenment, yes, they are cured from the disease. And then that enlightenment factors is Viriya, Viriya Sambhujanga, Viriya effort or energy. It is the mental effort present at every moment of your noting. It should neither be too much nor too little. When yogis keep their mind on the object, it involves mental effort. When you do not make any mental effort, you cannot keep your mind on the object. So mental effort is necessary to keep your mind on the object. Even though you are sitting, even though you are lying down, you are putting mental effort. So other walking, stretching, bending, of course, mental efforts needed. Mental effort has to be present during any moments of mental activities, during any moment of your noting. However, yogi should not make too much effort or too little effort. Too much effort leads to restlessness, and too little effort leads to sleepiness. And the characteristics of Viriya energy is Usaha Lakkhana, that is driving towards something. Driving towards something. That is the characteristics of Viriya. The functions is to consolidate mental states that arise together with the mental effort. It supports and helps the investigations of the dharmas. It manifests to meditators as non-sinking, non-collapsing. When you put forth effort, you do not sink, you do not collapse. Sometimes when we sleepy, we sink and we collapse. So it is said in the commentaries that when rightly initiated, effort should be regarded as the root of all attainments. No attainment can be reached without making an effort or without using energy. So 11 practices lead to the arising of virya, arising of energy. The first one is apaya baya bijavakanata. That is reflection on woeful states, reflections on apaya. We accept, we know, we need to accept apaya's realm, woeful states. So we have to reflect in this way. If I do not have energy, if I do not put forth some effort in practicing meditation, and accumulate wholesome actions or wholesome karma, I will surely be reborn in woeful states and I will suffer much. So reflecting on the fearfulness of woeful states, yogi will not dare to neglect your practice but want to make effort. You can get a lot of benefits by practicing meditation. If you attain Mega Palad, if you attain Sotapati Mega, all the sufferings are very limited. That means you have to be reborn only 7 lives and then you free from all suffering. But if we do not gain any enlightenment, we have to suffer again and again, again and again. So second one is reflecting on the benefits of energy. Yogi can reflect this way by putting forth more energy and making more effort. Many meditators have attained Arahatut. They became Arahant. Arahanthood cannot be attained by meditators who are lazy, who are slothful and indolent. So I must make effort. So meditator have to reflect on the benefits of Viriya. Now in the retreat, you put a lot of energy, only just few hours sleeping times, and other times you continue sleep practice. It is not really easy. It's so tiring. But your energy is flowing very well. You want to practice more. 1 month you're not enough. 2 months you're not enough. Long time you want to practice because you know the benefits of the practice, benefits of energy. And that one is Gamana Viti Bijavakanata. That is, you reflect on the path of meditation, the path of Vipassana has been trodden by the fully enlightened Buddha. This path of Vipassana has been trodden by Bojjhanga Buddha, individual Buddhas. This path of meditation has been trodden by the great disciple, Venerable Moggallana, Venerable Sariputra, etc., who were energetic. So when you are going along this path, it is not fit for you to be lazy. Sometimes the whole body aching, and sometimes we too tired and we also lazy. But reflect on the path. This path is very precious, and this path is very beneficial. So Buddhas and all the great disciples have been on this path. Another one is Pindapada Vijayata. That is, we honor the alms. That is meant for bhikkhus and nuns, because monks and nuns are supported by lay people, supported by the devotees, and also applies to yogis on retreat. because they are taken care by the volunteers and center. So we should always be conscious of this support. Lay people, donors offer food and other requisites to bhikkhus and yogis with the expectation that this will support energetic practice. Only by practicing meditation energetically, yogis can honor their supporters. Buddha allowed bhikkhus to receive alms and other requisites, not for leading a lazy life, but for the practice of meditation and for the cultivation of virtues to attain arhathood. So, in order to honor the custom of almsgiving, monks and nuns and yogis must put forth effort. So another one is Dayija Mata Picha Vakanata, that is reflecting on the heritage. Heritage means the heritage of the Buddha. Meditators should reflect in this way. Indeed, great is the heritage of the Buddha, namely the Dhamma treasures. Dhamma treasures are not attained by the slothful and indolent person is like a child disowned by his parents. There is no inheritance when the parents pass away. In the same way, it is with the treasure of the Dhamma, only an energetic practitioner will gain from them. Another one is reflecting on the master. It means recalling the great events in the life of the Buddha and admonishing ourselves in this way. It does not befit me to be lazy after having had such a great teacher, Buddha. Buddha fulfilled his parami, dana parami, sila parami, nikama parami, pinya parami, viriya parami, kanti parami, sija parami, aditara parami, metta and upeka parami. Dana, charity, morality, renunciation, wisdom, effort, patience, truth, determination, loving kindness, and equanimity. Buddha fulfill all kinds of paramis in grade, in middle grade, and in highest grade. And Buddha practice for the world, Buddha practice for Buddhahood, and Buddha practice for his relatives. So great teacher, the master, we need to reflect. And another one is reflect on the race. Race means birth as a bhikkhu, because by becoming a bhikkhu, a person gets a new birth as a spiritual child of the Buddha. It is not proper for such a person to be lazy. So another one is reflecting on the followers of the Dhamma. Yogis should admonish themselves in this way. Venerable Sariputra, Venerable Mahamoggallana, and the great disciple penetrated the supramundane Dhamma. Am I following their way of life? we should admonish ourselves. Am I following their way of life? And another one is avoiding lazy people. So some people are lazy. By avoiding people who are lazy and indolent, he can become energetic. Yogi can become energetic. So if the person is lazy, he also become ignorant. If the person is not lazy, he trying to practice and then he become wise. So another one is associating with energetic people. Energy arises by associating with people who put forth effort to acquire kusala karma, wholesome karma, and who practice meditation. You all are very lucky because all the yogis are energetic. So they are trying diligently. The last one is inclining towards energy, directing your mind towards putting forth energy in every sitting, standing, walking, stretching, and whatever yogis are doing, that lead you to more energy. So these are the factors to arouse your energy. So Buddha said to Venerable Moggallana and Kassapa, "O Kassapa and Moggallana, Bojjhangha, which has been perfectly discoursed upon by me, when activated within yourself and repeatedly developed, leads to knowing through extraordinary insight knowledge, leads to knowing through penetration, leads to Nibbana, the extensions of all mental defilements and extensions of all suffering." So regarding Vidya, Buddha encouraged them to develop. So now yogi are developing 7 factors of enlightenment by practicing vipassana meditation. So we continue tomorrow. We have to stop our discourse for today. May you practice well. May you develop 7 factors of enlightenment. Sati Sambojjhanga, Dhamma Vijaya Sambojjhanga, Viriya, Piti, Pasati, Samadhi, and Ubeka. May you practice Satipatthana meditation continuously and meticulously. By practicing Vipassana meditation continuously and meticulously, may all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future. So